I'm Steve,
I'm Tom.
and this is Demagogue News with things you need to know about episode 13, the April Fool's coronavirus press conference, crazy coronavirus news.
And not to mention the CARE Act.
Alrighty, Tom, another day in paradise, my friend.
Another day in quarantine.
Oh, yeah. So we had a interesting day today, and yesterday. That was a good press conference, too.
Yeah.
But today, good old Trump and friends talking to the White House correspondents, Peoples, about some interesting stuff, new developments, a lot of negative things that happen, actually. There's no good positive questions. Are there ever good positive questions?
They're all just jabs.
They're all just jabs.
It's kind of weird. Because, Trump had mentioned he's possibly the first American to take the 15-minute test. And the question about that was, oh, so do you get that because you're the president? It's like, actually, yes.
Well, he kinda. Come on.
He's our MVP right now. Like, you can't hard to have a snake without the head.
Leader of the free world. Yeah, and he's showing that, it works great. Even a dummy like him, even a dumbass like him, it works just fine. So it shows the efficacy. What a great thing to be like, oh, the president used it, it's great, cool. Everyone else should do it too. Nah. Only the rich get tests, right?
Yeah, it's the bourgeoisie.
A lot of celebrities have been getting all these coronavirus tests, so maybe it is the rich. But yeah.
Yeah. A great new term just entered American vernacular today.
Trump time.
Yeah, the fastest way possible, or the fastest you can get something possible.
It's Trump time.
So yeah, expect that in Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh, it's happening. Yep. And I think the most dialed down development. Trump bucks straight to your bank account.
In 2 weeks.
Yep, in 2 weeks, direct deposit it right into your account. Because I was thinking, because when I went to school, I got FAFSA, and that was a federal check. And it was cool because I'm like, oh man, it's a federal government check. Awesome. It's like for $1,500. But I thought there's 150, 160 million checks that are going to go out. Talk about an easy way to rob people. Just follow the mailman. Put checks in the thing, and then you go 5 minutes later and you pull it out, and then do some foraging, do what you got to do, hop around a couple banks. You got like 10 grand right there. But yeah, direct deposit, that's obviously the smart way to do it. Smart way to do it for that. And business loans. Yeah, starting tomorrow, big business loans happening. SBA with what's PPP? What does it stand
the
for?
Paycheck Protection Program.
Right.
Yeah, Triple P. So I guess I could just jump into those programs right now. Just to give credit where credit's due, I got all of this information from CJ Nutter Accounting, so go ahead and Google them, check them out, get a solid tax return there. But the PPP loans, they're 100% federally guaranteed, and they're mainly issued out to make sure that you as a business retain your employees. So
Keep
instead
them on
of people,
payroll.
yeah, for unemployment, you can get 2.5 times your payroll from February the 15th to June 30th.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, it's it's essentially like it's like Joe Biden. It's like they're injecting you with a serum to keep you alive because like you don't actually have the lifeblood coming.
Fuck, we're Joe Biden. What?
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Gotta keep him going.
Yeah, so but in order to qualify for this, you have to have been in business February 15th of 2020.
Yeah, so you can't be clever and make a business tomorrow and try to get these loans. Ain't gonna work for you.
Unless you're real good with that forgery. And then on top of that, EIDL, which is the emergency disaster insurance loans, you can apply for it even like if you're an independent contractor, let's say, or you're a sole proprietorship, you'll have more paperwork, but you can still apply for this. And even if you don't you don't meet the standards, you still get $10,000
as a grant, not a loan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you just get it. It's free money. So if you're an independent contractor, you would kind of be crazy not to apply for this.
Right. If you get the right paperwork and it works out for you, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Definitely.
Yep.
So on top of that, the maximum loan size you can get, though, since this is geared towards small businesses, for the PPP is $10 million.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of change. You're paying. Well, if you do have 499 employees and you fit under that,
if you're under 500 employees, you're
$10 million. That could go pretty fast, depending on how skilled your employees are.
It's true. But on top of that, I keep calling it a loan. It can be forgiven as long as they're going to crunch the numbers, look at your actual costs and how much you asked of them, and whatever's over that. So if it didn't go to utilities, rent, payroll, then that would become a loan at 4% interest, and you have a maximum of 10 years to pay it back.
Pretty decent right there.
Yeah, and you can defer it for 12 months. So
After a year of waiting, it's 4 years, so 5.
yeah, if you were, let's say you were a struggling business before this is like your godsend.
Yeah, being able to not have to pay payroll, 30 or 40% of the cost of the business, and then utilities and other such business costs. Shit, it's pretty decent. So that's starting tomorrow. You can apply for for the next 2 weeks. Is that what he was saying?
I don't know if there's even a deadline, but starting tomorrow, you'll be able to apply for those.
Right. We'll see if those websites last.
Yeah, right. Any crashes, as long as it's better than the Obamacare website.
Right.
That's all I ask.
Yep, and Steve Mnuchin was very hard on that 2 weeks. A lot of people don't believe that, but 2 weeks. If you have Social Security or on Medicaid, Medicare, it might take a little bit longer, but
Yeah, you'll still get it.
and yeah,
Hey man, Mnuchin's on Trump time, all right?
Mnuchin's on Trump time. And if you don't have if you are underbanked, I love that term, underbanked. I don't know people that don't have bank accounts, but if you don't believe in central banks, and you got all your money under the mattress, but you still file taxes, paper checks are going to take 3 weeks, maybe 4.
Yeah, that's what he's saying
Right.
right now.
It takes a little longer to write checks, but still fast,
Yeah,
pretty decent.
yeah. Otherwise, this was the first press conference that Mike Pence did not pull up the 30 days.
I was so disappointed. Yeah, I didn't pull up the 30 days to stop the spread. He mentioned it. He went through the whole rigmarole, and he just I was like his hand was twitching, like he's ready to do it, but he didn't have the paper. I was like, oh man,
Yeah, that threw me off.
that's your thing, man.
And then we actually got a little bit more exposure to Peter Navarro, which I thought he did a really good job.
Peter
on
Navarro was on point. I like Peter Navarro now. Navarro 2024. I'm down for it. That guy was on point. I think the biggest thing he said after all the question, his first spiel when he went back on the podium, talking about U.S. manufacturing, because it does show that now we have to ask all these countries that are already have their own fucking problem. They're already swamped in it as well to try to figure out how to get things. If it was all just in our country, we'd be so much easier.
Yeah, he's got a very valid point, though.
Incredibly valid point.
Globalism is kind of like the Achilles heel, like a global market for a pandemic.
Right, because when we're shutting down everything and you can't get things shipped and you can't get around here and there, yeah, that was a big point against the globalists of the NWO.
If you subscribe to that.
Right.
We'll get to that a little bit later. Also, they were talking about considering supply lines are shaky right now, of using air travel to ship a lot of things to the United States. I mean,
The air bridge, yes.
Russia gave us a little gift of medical supplies.
Yeah,
and-
reporters didn't like that. I don't know
no,
why.
They're like, and this is kind of classic of them.
Yeah.
Saying, isn't this Russian propaganda? And Trump's response, I thought, was like grade A.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I didn't ask for shit. He gave it to me anyways. I said thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I got problems. Appreciate you. Very generous, very gracious. Like,
Yeah, Trump said, "Hey, if it saves lives, I'll take it any day."
I was waiting for Trump to look at the camera and say, "Hey," and I'll remember that. Yeah, fuck yeah, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Russia, I'm sure. I don't know about the validity and solidness of the Russian health, institutes out there, so that they do that. Fucking appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I'll take it
Putin's
from Putin with love.
right from Putin with love. But hey, is he trying to sow seeds of friendship? Cool. The other big superpower that we were at war with for 40 years, probably a smart idea. So
Yeah.
I'll take it. Take what I can get it.
And on top of that, for Trump responding to things, what did he say? He called it he basically pointed out partisan sort of roadblocks, if you will. It's like, all they do is boost my poll
Oh no!
numbers.
Instead of the distraction of us, the criticism of Trump not doing things fast enough. Well, at the certain time of this extreme partisanship that we have, them doing these unnecessary investigations into things. I mean, they should really stop. I mean, you don't need to build my poll numbers more. Hilarious. Oh man, that was on point. And it wasn't a reporter. He just stuck that in there. Just a big blow to all the Nancy Pelosi's in the world. Fantastic.
All
Loved
one
it.
of them.
And also, the COVID.
Oh yeah, that was funny too.
RESPCT COVID 19. Hilarious.
Yeah, he's so a lot less like Fauci wasn't there because supposedly he's getting death threats
Yeah,
now.
people aren't apparently when Fauci's telling the truth about, oh yeah, we need to be prepared for 100 to 200,000 deaths. We don't know if we're trying to do better, but hey, we got to prep for that. That didn't fly well with people, which
Just
doesn't
imagine
make any sense.
Like a dude sitting on his couch, like, you know what? Like, you're gonna die, Fauci.
Fuck it.
Like, you wanna make claims like that?
Trying to do things and help around and let people be aware. I ain't about that kind of shit. We're about censorship. Get out of here and take you out. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. But I'm sure if in the White House, he'd probably be pretty safe.
Yeah.
So, you know,
One of the safest places.
maybe he was
in the
busy. Maybe he
world.
was at a meeting. Trump had to leave for 10 minutes for like a meeting.
Yeah.
He had to talk to somebody real quick.
He's probably just bullshitting with people.
Do a little something with Melania for a second. Gotta do what you gotta do. It's a busy time. You know, gotta fit in.
The stress, man.
The stress.
He needs stress relievers.
Someone who did not look stressed. Pence looked a lot. Pence been looking like a ghost for the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Pence looked really good today. You know, color in his face, looked sharp. That was good to see. You know,
As much color as he can get.
yeah, he's a pale guy with white hair. He's got like, does he dye it? He's got white hair.
Oh yeah, it's pure.
Yeah, it's just like Geralt, the Witcher over here. Yeah,
Toss a tone to your vice president.
toss a coin to your vice, oh valley of plenty. Don't sue us.
Please.
Yeah.
But also going along with Fauci getting death threats, there's a lot of tinfoil hat activity or like thoughts floating around if you
Oh
want to
my
go
gosh.
into.
Some tinfoil hattery. I mean, yeah, the rest of the press conference is pretty decent. Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stats, but the real problem, yesterday, day before yesterday? Yesterday, a rogue engineer of a train in San Diego purposefully derailed his train to try to crash into the USNS Mercy that's docked in San Diego. Crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What's his name? Eduardo.
Eduardo something.
Yeah. So what was his reasoning for this?
Apparently, we needed to know what they are doing and to reveal the true facts of this quarantine. And he needs to wake people up. Got to get them woke to the reality of what's happening on those ships. Fucking crazy.
yeah.
I mean, and the pictures are. I mean, it looks like Grand Theft Auto. It looks like Grand Theft Auto, and you just plowed a train through, and it got inside of 300 yards of the ship, which is also that's like Red Dead Redemption. I'm gonna crash into the jailhouse and kill the like.
Yeah. Like this guy turned it into reality.
That amazing, crazy, wild. Yeah.
It's probably like a pretty big New World Order guy. Probably thought it was like a death camps on the ship
The
or
FEMA,
something.
yeah, the FEMA death camps. They're gonna
Yeah.
take all the people.
Yeah, if any listeners aren't aware of a New World Order theory, it's essentially that after a catastrophe, it was originally '08, but people are juxtaposing it onto today. That FEMA, how they're setting up everywhere. That these are actually death camps, like Holocaust style.
Right. They're gonna pull people to get into these camps. Speaking of that, though, apparently, who's doing who is proposed? Georgia? Was it Georgia that's proposing to have no, they were late. Who's proposing to have infection camps? Send people who have the coronavirus to a separate place, like a leper colony. Who is that?
Oh man, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. So some person in government wants to do that, where he sends people that have the virus, separate them from the population, and now that is kind of weird.
It's weird, but it's kind of logical.
Yeah, the Nazis were kind of logical too, Tom. It made a lot of sense. The Jews are ruining this country. We got to kill them all. Well, shit, Mr. Hitler, that sounds great. Yeah, it sounds great at first.
Yeah, it is very disturbing to have the government
Yeah.
just like forcibly move people.
Yeah, again, they claimed, when are they going to have a national quarantine? Other countries are doing it. When are we going to have a national quarantine to slow the spread?
And I definitely don't think that's applicable to the United States.
Oh, they're trying. They've asked almost every single press conference when that's going to happen.
Yeah, like different approaches work for different states. Like New York has New York City, and
They're all locked down.
Yeah,
Super
what works
duper.
for New York City isn't going to work for Lincoln, Nebraska.
Probably not. Absolutely, but remember, Tom, Orange Man bad.
It's the worst.
He's the worst.
But if we want to go over state approaches real quick, just Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey has now banned gun sales. So
Which is that's on point right there.
Yeah, that's
Second
scary.
Amendment, you throw that shit out the window. Who needs that? Speaking of policy, the Prime Minister of Hungary has just taken over the government.
yeah, never really let a good crisis go to waste.
No, the Prime Minister of Hungary has outlawed elections. I mean, outlaw is not the right word.
Democracy helps spread diseases.
Obvi-
Put it together, people.
Yeah, it makes sense. He has eliminated elections for the entirety of the pandemic. So there will be no contestants against him, and he's basically been able to take over the government. So democracy has fallen in Hungary.
All of a sudden, he expresses interest, like, oh no, China, like send more people to Hungary. Actually, everybody. Like, are you from Italy or Spain? Come to Hungary.
I need a really big house. You know what? I need a really, and you know what? All you military guys, you're now my secret police.
Give them bonuses; they'll do it.
One step at a time. One step at a time. Yeah, New Jersey, no Second Amendment's falling down over there.
Yeah, that's disturbing. More disturbing. Governor DeWine of Ohio outlawing alcohol sales. Like, how are you going to deal with this pandemic
Without a beer?
Subduing your perception.
senses.
Yeah.
You're
Ohio,
sad?
like, they needed alcohol before the pandemic.
Bro, I just had an amazing idea. El Capone Part 2. Me and you. Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, here it goes.
Let's go. Let's start bootlegging booze in Ohio. Start
Yeah.
making some real money.
We're not saying that we're going to do that, but if you are in the state of Ohio,
Hypothetically, we'll do that.
go ahead and message the Demagogue News Facebook page.
There you go. Tell us what you want. We'll figure it out for you.
Yeah.
Can you ship? Yeah, you can ship. You can ship booze. You think the post office in Ohio is going to be checking for Bud Lights and vodka?
I prefer UPS.
I'll FedEx some Jacks to you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hail Ohio.
And then also Louisiana, due to the press conference, I think Dr. Birx had said that they're testing it. 26% of all people who test for the virus come up positive.
I mean, New York's at 35%. She was breaking down
Really?
the changes in. The question was the accuracy of these tests, and 1 in 3 are negative. So how do we know there's more people out there? And from anyone that's in the government, that we've been having more and more accurate tests. But some of these places, 1 out of 4 chance if you get a cough, it's the Rona, and when you get tested, that's a lot.
No, it is. That's huge.
It's huge. Ironically, California and Washington are at 8%.
Yeah, that's
So,
crazy.
I don't know, maybe it's a per capita thing, or all the testings in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans where it just happens to be a lot. Is it a coincidence?
Maybe people in Louisiana just don't care.
Yeah.
There could be a lot going on there. Yeah, California is probably the dark horse out of all this. I didn't expect them to do so well at containing it.
Yeah, from starting off, in a bad, on the flat feet, starting off
Yeah.
with Washington, California. Impressive. Very impressive.
Definitely. So that's, I guess, like the overview. We don't really have any new news from places like India or Russia.
No, because nothing's coming out of those countries, Tom.
No, it's a black hole.
China's still at 81,000 and change,
Yeah. Okay.
even though it's even come out now. I don't know if we said it yesterday, that 21 million cell phones are missing from the Chinese cell services, which is a lot. And the claim might be is because China supposedly has changed over to 5G. Supposedly. And a lot of phones don't take 5G. I have an iPhone 10 XR. iPhone XR. Last year, but still, pretty hot shit phone. Doesn't accept 5G. So is this just 21 million people who need to buy new phones in China?
I mean, that's kind of crazy. That's like if all of Australia just suddenly vanished off the map.
Yeah, half of LA County isn't here anymore.
Yeah. that's-
Actually, most of LA County isn't here anymore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that interesting little tidbit right there. There've been some interesting
Well,
videos.
I think
of
it would be like half of LA County because
Yeah.
LA County has like 10 million people in it.
10.
Yeah, it's about
California's
10.
got 40, right?
California has 40, but I remember like Ohio has more people than LA County.
Okay.
That's how I remember it.
So 1.5 LA counties are missing from
Yeah.
China right now. To give you some sense of scale. Yeah. So
Yeah, so that's pretty bizarre. But I guess moving a little southeast from China, our boy Rodrigo Duterte is
hey,
he has not changed one bit.
Rodrigo Duterte is charmingly called Asian Trump.
Yeah, and has very proudly compared himself to Adolf Hitler.
He is
He's
a
the president
hard
of the
motherfucker.
Philippines.
He did a drug war in the Philippines and offered the civilians bounties for killing drug dealers. Man doesn't fuck around.
Mm-mm.
And apparently recently he has spoken out and said that for their quarantine, their stay-at-home order, if you break that quarantine, you can be shot. So people in the Philippines, don't leave your house if you don't have to. Because apparently that's pretty fucking serious.
Yeah, he's getting a snitch society together.
And you know what? That happened in China. The countless videos of people being pulled out of their houses by people in hazmat suits. You know, these people are screaming, being yanked out of their homes. So just don't get the Rona. And
Yeah.
the Thrilla Manila, you don't want it. The Manila and Thrilla, you don't want it. Yeah.
Jeez. And then on a lighter note, if we're playing around the world here, shifting from the South China Sea to the Gulf of Mexico, Chilean actress Carolina Cox.
A staunch socialist.
Yeah. So she was doing a little conference in Cuba, and the Pan American airline Copa stopped doing flights to Chile because of the pandemic, and now she's very upset that she is stuck in a country that practices the beliefs that she preaches.
Because apparently it fucking sucks in Cuba.
Yeah,
For this illustrious socialite actress who needs all these things, Cuba don't got them.
yeah, like
Havana is pretty dirty. Unfortunately, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Carolina's in Havana, na. Yeah,
Ooh, we got the music. This is
Yeah,
a
we
music
do.
cast right now. We got the songs.
yeah, but she's very upset that you can barely find internet anywhere. Children and old people can't get medical attention. There's rats.
Oh, man, does it suck? Oh, wow. I'm
Yeah, so
sorry.
if you think you're having a bad quarantine, you could be Carolina Cox.
Right. Yeah, multimillionaire without her money. It must suck.
Oh yeah, and the credit cards don't work there. Like
Oh,
debit
they
and
don't take
credit.
her the crowd. Wow.
Yeah, you are screwed.
Yeah, she don't got no fucking cash.
I hope you're good at bartering. Get some chickens.
Right? Take a lot of pictures. Start selling pictures. If people like you out there, maybe they might want to take pictures with you. Yeah.
It's a rough day. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah, business as usual.
yeah, business as usual.
Everything's burning down. Social unrest is brewing somewhere, somehow. You know.
I don't know. This is like the chillest pandemic ever, though. Like Steve and I
Pretty
we went to Walmart earlier today, and it felt pretty normal. Which at Walmart, it's like going to like a carnival, like a shitty state fair.
A large part about the press conference today was establishing and maintaining the supply lines, because just like in the scene from The Dark Knight when Batman's got Joker in the interrogation room, these people, their social contract of being nice to each other hangs on a thread. They'll eat each other. We've seen videos of people fighting over toilet paper. They'll go nuts at this first sign of struggle. So hopefully Walmart keeps holding stuff in. Walmart being a company that is reached out to see what they can do in terms of shipping or manufacturing or warehousing for all these medical products. So hopefully that the Walton train keeps on going,
Yeah.
because I could absolutely see shit hitting the fan. And it was kind of shifty in the beginning there when like all the shelves, and man, we're really like blown through this stuff.
Yeah.
If it never restocked, like Venezuela, it's an entire aisle, and all there is one ketchup every foot boom, 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 because that's all they can put inside the grocery store, that'll be kind of spicy. So I don't want that. Nobody wants that.
And we don't want the Boogaloo verse.
Yeah, we don't want the Boogaloo verse. It's not going to be fun to do that. As much as some of you people might want it, is I like internet and anime and porn. Okay, leave me alone.
And Pepe the Frog.
So, yeah, the real danger if our stores start getting a little sparse with no end in sight, that's when it's going to get a little scary. And supposedly some countries, France, Italy, their supply lines are getting pretty thin. There's been some strikes by these shipping companies. It's convenient they'll strike now because each company needs you bad.
Yeah.
So hopefully it doesn't happen. And if it does, we'll be seeing it firsthand on every single news channel.
Yeah. Actually, I think Whole Foods is one of those that the workers went on strike there.
Fucking Whole Foods.
Yeah, and
fuck you, Amazon.
yeah, it's kind of bullshit. Like at a time, like what? Because you didn't get like a vacation like everyone else.
I'm sorry. I think now it's a universal, like, wow,
Mhm.
let's give a high five to every single grocery store, every single fast food. The idea of shitting on all these types of jobs because they're low-skilled dummies.
Yeah, well,
and
guess what? They're
failures.
essential. Like,
Well, do you got a fucking job right now?
yeah, like I don't. Like,
1/3 of all people in the U.S. are unemployed right now. And I think it's about 32% is going to be the estimate.
mhm.
Everyone working at Ralph's got a job.
Yeah.
Your grandma who's trying to, waste time being in retirement and works there 2 days a week, they got her busting her ass right now. So, now there's a lot of hats and off.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah,
know.
definitely. Like that dude who you turned down because he works at Burger King. Like, he's still bringing home the bacon.
Yeah, and man, that's it. Me and Tom aren't. We had these cool jobs and, these amazing casinos in Las Vegas, and now we don't.
So
Goes to show the societal, castes, how they shift
yeah,
so easily.
the social order is kind of it's changing for sure, and that's actually an awesome segue. Thank you for saying that. Of I guess the political spectrum that I'm seeing right now in the U.S. is a lot of the extremes are starting to get shaved off a little bit
Oh, yeah.
due to this coronavirus. So on the far left, you've got like woke culture, like people who are down with the patriarchy.
Well,
and
what? I haven't heard nothing in the
Yeah.
last month and a half.
They've been nothing but crickets because like it's weird when you make up problems and like shit actually hits the fan. You go back to regular human problems, which are food, shelter, like
Yeah,
all
like
that
actual
jazz.
struggle, which
Yeah.
people are absolutely doing right now. It's tough for a lot of people out
Mhm.
there. And we're blessed to have a little bit of pocket change, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess on the other side of the aisle, okay, people like me, I'm a pretty small government libertarian, but this is kind of making me rethink that with, maybe there are situations where you need like a galvanized like response from a central
Yeah,
source.
it's regulations and a large big oversight committee administration for managing when things really do get rough.
Yeah. Like
So
could an anarcho-capitalist society handle a pandemic? Probably not.
yeah, neo-capitalist libertarian society with it's only the free market. Well, there'll be a lot of empty shelves still, toilet paper, and price gouging would be the norm.
Yeah. There's no Defense
illegal.
Production Act to crack down on warehouses that store up toilet paper and sell it at exorbitant rates.
Right, and it really does show that it is both. Ideally, all working Americans are about to get the epitome of socialism. I mean, it is your money. It's your tax-paid money, but everyone's going to get paid in a check? Well, that's Bernie 101 right there.
Yeah.
Yang 101.
Yeah, it's more Yang.
It's Yang 101 right there.
Bernie would love to take the credit though.
Right.
Like,
But, and it shows how, at certain points in times and certain situations, kind of need to do that. So, at this point now when even hardworking people who are financially sufficient and make sure that they don't use the system need it, it's, takes a minute to go through the government, but now it's available.
yeah.
So it really does show that a lot of lefty liberal types are also purchasing, enjoying their Second Amendment right
Mhm.
now.
That's a really weird one. I'm hearing nobody bashing firearms like on any of my social media.
Yeah, absolutely. In Virginia, there was that protest,
Mm-hmm.
and now, I'm very interested to see what happens in New Jersey, outlawing gun sales. That's a big step into stepping on the Constitution right
Yeah.
there. Because there's a lot of people who are very infuriated in California when I need to buy a gun. oh, I have to wait 10 days? What, 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days. Somebody could rob me in 10
Yeah,
days.
I need it now.
Like, I need to protect my family.
Well,
like, again, this brings everything into perspective.
Maybe you should have done that 5 years ago. Or maybe when you voted for that.
Yeah,
'cause
maybe you should have voted
that.
for
This cooling down period, you voted to have all of these extraordinary, basically, masses of paperwork and things you need to apply for and certification for. Now it's kind of not useful because now you know now that you need it, you're bitching and moaning about it. So that's really coming into light. And a lot of Republicans aren't saying shit about the fact they can get paid by the government.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, they're enjoying that part. Yeah, it really does show that when shit actually hits the fan, everyone kind of gets in line.
Yeah.
Just get in line. Not the time to be, the nail that sticks up gets hammered down.
Mhm.
Just, shut up and get in line right now. It's not the time to, be on your soapbox.
And I guess that kind of goes goes against anybody who is, like, Trump called out people who are partisan trying to slow things down. Like, people aren't going to forget that.
Yeah,
when
what's the senator that in the House that was gonna go against the CARE Act? It was one senator.
Are you talking Lindsey Graham? Was it a Republican or a Democrat?
It was a Republican. It was a small. It was a small House guy that.
Wait, so he's a congressman?
Yeah.
Now
I have to look it up. Yeah, but being what was the name? A grandstander that Trump used. Because he didn't like some things that's in the bill because it's bipartisan back and forth.
There's compromise. Like, you're not. The point of the matter was to get the bill passed. And is it imperfect? Yes, highly. Like, it's wildly
like everything
imperfect.
Like everything else.
Yeah, the American people can't wait around while a perfect bill gets hammered out.
By that time, we're all being evicted. Speaking of evicted, it's April 2nd. First of the month was yesterday. I believe it federally, or is it statewide, when it comes down to handling evictions?
It's state by state.
State by state. We will be seeing the next couple days as people's late fees start happening on the 5th, usually, 5 days to pay your rent. What's going to happen? Is it going to be rent strikes? That's been a trending topic recently, to strike out and not pay your landlord, which is unfortunately not the way to do it, because owning and maintaining property ain't free.
No, it's
landlords
not.
aren't just fat cats sitting there like, aha, I spent the money, now you shitty people just pay me and I just live like a fat and happy. Property tax, that's federal and state. Maintenance at all times. Your toilet breaks, you don't pay for it. Landlord figures it out.
Yeah, and that's very true.
Insurances, the mortgage he has to pay because he doesn't own it, actually. Bank of America or whoever the hell he got his loan from, they still own the house and he's paying off the loan. So it's not like he has a free ride too.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people do think that, like, they're kind of like fat cats. Like, oh yeah, they have all the money in the world.
A lot of my friends on Facebook, I pay rent, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, unless he's literally somebody that actually has a fat cat, like, it costs money to have a tenant.
It does. I guess, like, okay, to view it from the other side, a lot of these renters, it wasn't their choice to get unemployed. The government forced them.
You're absolutely right.
It's a trash system here in Nevada, Governor Sisolak enacted a moratorium on rent. But what about the people who are paying their mortgages? What about the property owners? Like, he hasn't really catered to them at all.
From what I've heard, it's more on you call your lender. You need to call Fannie Mae and say, hey, we need to figure something out. What I'm interested to see is this moratorium on rent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to pay rent. La vie bohème. Is it that we're gonna forgive a month, or are we're gonna defer it, and by August when we're all hunky dory, hey, you owe me $3,000?
Yeah, that's a bad way to do it.
So and. Also, the landlord is also entitled to that money. He still pays more. He still owes. It's not like It's not like Fannie Mae is gonna deduct the 3 months of rent off of it and say, "Oh yeah, that counts as $6,000 off of your loan." He still owes the whatever the hell's still left on his mortgage. So now it gets funny. Apparently, in some other countries, they're making it so that it'd be a secondary loan system. So for whatever rent that you've owed that you didn't pay in those months, you have 2 years to pay that off over time.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
That's not bad.
Pretty fair. But that's going to be an interesting subject in the next couple days. See what happens in some communities with. It's been going around on Facebook. Even here in Vegas, some apartment complexes. Your number one priority is to pay your rent. We don't care.
Oh, you've seen those like where they put them on everybody's door, and it's like, there are grocery stores are hiring.
Yeah,
like,
don't worry, Trump bucks are coming. Pay your rent with it. And let's be honest, the Trump bucks that we're gonna get, it's not for buying handbags or cool shit or whatever. It's for paying for your bills and your utilities.
Yeah,
That's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting to see how many people blow that cash and then bitch about it when that's what was supposed to keep your ship afloat.
Yeah, this is a cushion. It's not. It's not like hitting the jackpot.
Free money.
Yeah,
Yeah. You didn't hit 777s on the slot machine.
And if you do that, before you do it, please listen to episode 4, because you are
a piece of shit.
Yeah, a piece of shit, and a bourgeoisie hiding as a proletariat. You should be ashamed.
Disgusting kulaks, keeping their grain from the others that we give to you. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a large population that does blow that cash, and then God forbid that this goes on longer than April 30th, and especially here in Las Vegas for sure. Every single tourist trap town is gonna have a rough time. Rough time.
Yeah.
So if you go and blow it on a car, or which can be an argument that you might need a car, but if you blow it on something stupid that isn't food, water, shelter, and life still sucks for you, hey, I'll buy it off you for $50. How about that? Yeah, whatever you need, I'll give you a pound of meat. Because I ain't helping your ass. Scoot yourself.
Pound of meat. Wow, you really are reverting back.
We're in the barter system now. I have 2 goats. You have 3 bales of hay. I trade.
All of a sudden, it's Bernie Sanders.
It's trying to be like Middle Eastern. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but it turned into Bernie Sanders, who doesn't believe in trading.
Trust me. We need other goats. Give it to us, and
the 1% have all the goats.
1%. Eat the rich. We have to eat the rich. Good old Bernie.
Yeah.
Again, still not a peep out of our Democratic friends.
Yeah, out of Joe Biden's been very quiet.
Yeah, nothing going on that front. We'll see what happens.
So yeah, the actually glad you brought that up too, because the Democratic National Convention taking place in August now. They're moving it back.
Oh, delayed it to August?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we'll see how that goes.
So Milwaukee has a couple extra months before it gets burnt to the ground.
Right. Bernie bros, hang out for a second. Wait, you gotta wait. Change your plans. Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I don't know. You have anything else?
That's the gist of it for the past 3 days or so.
Yeah. So
go on Demagogue News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a like, comment, and tell us how we did. Ask us if you want to learn anything that want us to talk about.
Yeah, if there's a specific topic, go for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, keep your head on that swivel. This is Steven and Tom signing out.